All right, folks, more drama in Virginia. Well, Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax took a major hit today when a woman who went to college with him at Duke University, she released a statement saying that she was raped by Fairfax when they were students at Duke, saying it took place in 2000. Now, in this particular statement here, we're going to read the actual statement. And so this is what the statement actually says. And first of all, the headline is Request for Resignation of Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax. They say, we serve as counsel for Meredith Watson, who was raped by Justin Fairfax in 2000 while they were both students at Duke University. Mr. Fairfax's attack was premeditated and aggressive. The two were friends but never dated or had any romantic relationship. Ms. Watson shared her account of the rape with friends in a series of emails and Facebook messages that are now in our possession. Additionally, we have statements from former classmates corroborating that Ms. Watson immediately told friends that Mr. Fairfax had raped her. Ms. Watson was upset to learn that Mr. Fairfax raped at least one other woman after he attacked her. The details of Ms. Watson's attack are similar to those described by Dr. Vanessa Tyson. At this time, Ms. Watson is reluctantly coming forward out of a strong sense of civic duty and her belief that those seeking or serving in public office should be of the highest character. She has no interest in becoming a media personality or reliving the trauma that has greatly affected her life. Similarly, she is not seeking any financial damages. On behalf of our client, we have notified Justin Fairfax through his attorneys that Ms. Watson hopes he will resign from public office. Now, this is the statement that Justin Fairfax released. I deny this latest unsubstantiated allegation. It is demonstrably false. I have never forced myself on anyone ever. I demand a full investigation into these unsubstantiated and false allegations. Such an investigation will confirm my account because I am telling the truth. I will clear my good name and I have nothing to hide. I have passed 2 full field background checks by the FBI and run for office in 2 highly contested elections with nothing like this being raised before. It is obvious that a vicious and coordinated smear campaign is being orchestrated against me. I will not resign. Right now, I want to bring up now our panelists here joining us to talk about this. First off, we have Malik Boyd, who is with us out of Philadelphia, and we also, of course, have Barbara Arnwine, Transformative Justice Coalition. So, folks, let's examine this. Now, first of all, the initial complaint with Dr. Vanessa Tyson says that he forced her to have oral sex in 2004. Okay, so that took place over the weekend, became public on Monday. So now we have this statement here. Now, her lawyer, who was also the lawyer for Gretchen Carlson when she sued Roger Ailes at Fox, they say that she told friends that it happened at the time. But are any of you surprised, though, that Justin, when he ran first as Attorney General, the Lieutenant Governor, often talked about being a Duke graduate. And no one said anything about this. Just what are your thoughts about, as you read this letter, not only that, she calling for his resignation, but not for him to be charged, not suing financially. And then also, they say she has no interest in becoming a media personality or reliving the trauma that has greatly affected her life. Well, you're going to have to, that's going to be a part of this if you accuse him of this and say he should resign. What your thoughts?
You want to go with that?
Yes, well, first of all, I'm connected to both of their alma maters.
Right.
Okay.
Because Scripps College is where I went to undergraduate.
Okay.
And that's where Tyson is tenured.
A professor, yes.
And I also went to Duke University for law school. So, I have this, real, feeling. First of all, Tyson has nothing to gain. Because let me be very clear, everybody, Scripps College is not going to be loving on her for this. This is that's not that kind of an environment. I went there. I can tell you it's mostly a white school. It is not going to be, giving her pats on the back. So she's taking a risk by coming out. There's no doubt that she will not be rewarded for this. I also think that if it's proven and it is substantiated that she actually, the second lady actually at Duke, had told people contemporaneously, then I think there's no other option for Justin Fairfax than to resign. I think black women have to stand up for other black women. And I think it's important for us to say that the entire rape culture of this society and within the African American community has to end.
So how do you, though, get to that point, though?
Yeah.
Because in order to get to that point, there has to be an investigation.
Right.
And there has to be the witnesses have to actually be named and have their statements read. I mean, this is not one of those instances where you just sit back and say, oh, well, there's no proof. It's just he said, she said. No. And we know from watching what happened with Kavanaugh that more people will come forward.
And we also...
Because sounds like a pattern.
But here's the piece here. We also have here where she frames this as he raped her.
Yes.
When Dr. Tyson's statement that called it sexual assault because it was forced oral sex.
Right.
Now, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a prosecutor, but I think when people hear rape, they hear that as differently than what Dr. Tyson described.
Exactly.
But the lawyers here say in their statement that that details of Ms. Watson's attack are similar to those described by Dr. Vanessa Tyson.
Right.
So first thing is, I think every man on this panel is vehemently against rape culture, all right? But it becomes dangerous when you throw rocks and hide your hands. And that's, in essence, what that statement was. He raped me, but I'm not going to even finish the conversation. I'm just going to leave this thing out here and let it stick. In this kind of political climate, to your point, we have to get to the bottom of it with the full investigation. And I do appreciate the fact that Justin Fairfax did not attack her and said, listen, let's go as deep as we need to go on the investigation because I have no doubt that I'm innocent. But she has to come to the table. She's got to tell the story. Now,
again, so Barbara, you said that
Yes.
witnesses are going to have to come forward and names revealed.
That's right.
And so, and then they say that she told friends in emails and Facebook messages, and then they have statements saying that that Watson immediately told friends that Mr. Fairfax had raped her.
Right.
What you're saying is those folks are going to have to come forward
Absolutely are.
and say this actually happened.
Absolutely.
But also produce something that also corroborates it.
Right. Well, I think that, it's going to be very, very important for this to get fully aired because I don't think that we can have a situation where it's just his word against her word. I think it's very important against their word now. And there will be others.
But her lawyers, though, are not calling for an investigation.
Right.
Well, and that's very, very interesting. And remember, I think it's so hard for people to understand what it's like for a woman who has been sexually assaulted or raped. That they don't understand that you don't want the camera on you. You don't want to have to keep talking about what he did to you. That's emotionally not only harmful and hurtful, it's destabilizing to your entire existence as a woman. And I think that people don't understand that every time these lurid details are talked about what he did to her,
first of all, what he allegedly did.
Right, what he allegedly did, it just chips at you.
But,
it's like somebody taking a hammer to a building.
But I can actually just flip it, though.
Yeah.
If you're Justin Fairfax.
Right.
And you say it flat out didn't happen.
Right.
Former Governor Terry McAuliffe has said he should resign. If you are your lawyer, if you are the lawyer for Justin Fairfax, what is your response?
Oh, of course. If I'm his attorney, I'm saying you got to make them come forth with all the proof. I mean, that's what I'm saying to him. I'm also saying...
But what you tell him to resign?
I'm also saying to him, confidentially, on the QT, I'm saying, listen, if you did this, let's be straightforward right now. There's no sense in going down a long road of defending and how, and all this, because all you're doing is destroying your entire career. It's already gone if it's true.
Well, what if he says to you,
come out.
What if he says to you, Barbara, if you're his attorney, and he says, Barbara, this did not happen.
Then you defend your client. I mean, that's what you do as a lawyer.
Would you tell
defend
him?
your client.
No, but I'm asking you, though, the cause for resignation.
Yes.
If you're his lawyer
Yes.
and he's saying, Barbara, I did not do this, they're saying I should quit. Do you tell him, quit, we'll try to clear your name, or do you say, no, you don't leave, we're going to fight?
I would, but you got to remember, it's me, right?
No, I'm asking you.
As a woman.
That's why I'm asking you.
And I would tell him, listen, we're going to make them produce the evidence, and produce these witnesses. We're going to make them do that. We can do it in camera, meaning, we can have it done secretively without it being in the public eye, or we can do it in public. But the bottom line is, you better be conscious that if this is substantiated, that you're now doubly harmed. You're now doubly eroded. And it's not in your best interest to go down this road.
Malik.
So I agree with that, and I think that's very important.
Yes.
However, and I'm not a lawyer, right? But the right to face my accuser. You have now accused me, and so in the court of law, now bring it out. Show me the facts. And so, yes, there's this very delicate balance of someone having to relive such a traumatic event. However, the timing of it is quite interesting.
But when is there a good time?
Then there's never a good time.
There's never a good
But the
time.
timing and the facts that says, listen, this occurred, but I'm not going to tell you the rest of the story, and I don't want to relive it. In this space and time, I think it's justice on both sides for the story to come out.
So I got to ask both of you.
Yeah.
We heard Democrats, especially women, who were saying with Christine Blasey Ford and Kavanaugh,
Exactly.
believe all women. You had Republicans who were saying due process.
Right.
When Congressman John Conyers was accused.
Yes.
You had folks who were saying, oh, you got to go.
Al Franken.
Hold up, I'm not going there yet.
Okay.
You got to go.
Right.
Conyers folks were like, wait a minute, hold up. Due process. So the question is this is not, and again, I'm bringing up white men, I'm bringing up black men.
Right.
I'm bringing up anybody. Let's say a woman is accused of sexual harassment.
And they have been.
The question here is, can you have a due process conversation in a politically charged environment?
Well, I think that you have to have an investigation.
But what's the investigation?
I think that listen, what they had the option of doing in the Congress on Franklin and everybody else was they could have done a congressional investigation.
Okay, so
it's an ethics
let's do it with
charge,
Fairfax.
right?
Let's do it with
It's an
Fairfax.
ethics charge.
He's a lieutenant governor of Virginia.
Yes.
Dr. Tyson said this took place in Boston, 2004. This woman, Meredith Watts, said it took place in North Carolina in 2000. So if there's an investigation, who does it?
Well, in this case, it would be the ethics committee or whatever the grievance committee would be.
In Virginia.
In Virginia.
Okay.
It would absolutely be.
So
And you got to also worry. I mean, he needs to worry because I don't know what the statute of limitations is on rape. And by the way, rape is not necessarily in every state a requirement that there be what you call penetration.
Right, precisely.
And that it can be precisely what's been alleged in the Tyson statement. So what you would need to do here is that you would have to have a complete investigation, but he better be worried that the state does not open its own investigation and looking at its own possible charges.
But here's the piece, though.
Because they can do that.
But here's the piece. He said, quote,
Right.
I demand
Bring it on.
a full investigation
Right.
into these unsubstantiated and false allegations. Such an investigation will confirm my account because I'm telling the truth.
Yeah.
He's not dancing.
Absolutely.
He's saying,
Absolutely.
bring the investigation.
Please.
Absolutely.
Please.
And you got to remember, Roland, I'm a lawyer, right? So I've had clients. I'm not a criminal
And
lawyer.
you know that statement
I've had
was
clients.
vetted by lawyers.
I have clients who in fact, my first ever case, I was telling somebody about this the other day, was a case that involved a client who had been telling the same story, Roland, for at least 7 years. Wow. We go to court. We've done depots, interrogatories. We've had, full discovery. We get into court, and the judge says, put your hand on the Bible, and she says, I can't.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
And I have told a lie. And all of us who were her lawyers almost fell on the ground. It was the most embarrassing situation ever. So we've had people say, oh, take it to court. We'll go all the way. I'm going to fight. So you never know. All I'm saying is it's good that he's called for an investigation. That's the right thing to do. I think it's important that if he knows in his heart, something different, that he does the right thing. If he knows that he's innocent, he ought to fight.
But that's all the more reason for due process.
Right.
Because
Precisely.
due process is what brought out that flaw in the case, right?
Please,
So you get to the point of due
remind
process
me.
and you find out the flaw either way. However,
remind me.
he's calling for it vehemently. He
Right.
needs to get it. And I do think in this culture, because it's politically charged, unfortunately, we have to do full investigations.
Yes.
You got to bring your story. You cannot throw rocks and hide hands.
And we were mad at the
Got it.
Kavanaugh situation because they didn't do
Absolutely.
a full investigation.
Absolutely.
And I think that would be a good thing to happen here.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
All right, y'all, calling all HBCU alumni, students, and leaders, enter the Ford Y'all want to change that? Thank you very much. Enter the Ford Motor Company HBCU Mobility Challenge and win $25,000 for your school. Building on their long-term support of HBCUs, Ford is looking to improve mobility in HBCU communities through innovative solutions. The winning program will receive a grant of $25,000 to implement the proposal. The deadline, folks, is March 31st, 2019. Go to FGB.Life, FGB.Life for more information and to apply. Ford goes further in our communities.
Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video. Hey fam, I want you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications.